Welcome back to A Closer Look, brought to you by Innovative Solutions. I'm Cindy Kate Murphy, and here we have Nathan from the men's soccer team.
Hey, happy to be here.
So tell us a little bit about yourself there, Nathan.
Well, my name's Nathan. I'm a senior. I'm about to graduate in the fall. I am from Ethiopia. Both my parents are from there. I've moved around a lot, like with my dad's job and stuff, so we've lived in 4 different countries. We moved to America 5 years ago, and we've been here since then, and they still live down in Orlando, but I'm up here doing school and playing soccer on the men's team.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
What sports did you play when you were growing up, other than soccer, obviously?
Well, in Zimbabwe, when I started there, they made us always run cross country, so I had to do that. Third graders, they forced us to play rugby, so I played a little bit of rugby when I was younger then too, and then some cricket. And then when I moved to South Africa, some more cricket, a little bit of track and field. And I continued playing touch rugby, and we actually had a lot of fun with that. I played that for like 2 years, and our coach is like a big deal. Like he's like one of the innovators for the sport in the country. So we actually played that for a while. We actually won a national championship with that, which was really cool. And then of course soccer as well.
Wow, how old were you when you started playing soccer?
I don't remember, which is always a good answer to give. I
Really?
think I can remember being really young and playing it, but I can't tell you an age.
Wow.
I know younger than I was. From 5 and under, I'm sure I was playing. My mom tells me I was, so.
Oh, he's just kicking a ball.
Yeah.
Hey, you might as well start young.
All right.
You went to the University of Central Florida as a freshman. How did you decide on going there?
Well, it was right by home, which was convenient because cost and stuff. And the reason I went there too is because they had a good engineering program, and I knew that's what I wanted to study at that time, and because it has lots of opportunities for jobs after graduation, and it's something that was interesting for me, so I decided to do that. And also, all the other big schools in Florida didn't have men's soccer programs, so I went to Central Florida because I had like hopes of being on the team in the spring, which actually did happen. So I was on the team for the spring of my freshman year, but then some stuff didn't work out, so I got cut from that team. But then I was there for another year. Then I came up here.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Sweet. After being at UCF, you wanted to play soccer. How did you find out about USC again?
Well, I was playing on a summer team in Ocala, Florida, for the Ocala Stampede, for their Super 20 team. My coach was Coach Chikozi Offer, and he's really good friends with Coach Ike. So he assumed I was playing in Central Florida, but when he found out I wasn't, he's like, no, you need to be playing somewhere. So he connected me with Ike, and then, from there, just things started rolling, and before I knew it, I was up in Aiken,
That's
playing
awesome.
soccer here, yeah.
Ike's a good guy. I love Ike.
Yeah, he's really cool.
What made it a good fit for you?
Well, if you go from Central Florida, it's a very big school, so for the first 2 years, I was going back and forth between school and, I was commuting, and it was like 40 minutes away, so you don't get really the whole college experience because a lot of your time is spent driving between there, school and home, and then when you're at home, you're away from your friends, so it's kind of hard to, develop those relationships and get really close friends because, there's distance separating you and just the inconvenience of it all. So, being here has been nice because it's a smaller campus too, so you get to know everyone a little bit better, and just being on the campus more has allowed me to get to know people better and experience a little bit more what a college atmosphere is like. I'm not saying Central Florida is bad, but it's just it's a
sometimes smaller is better.
Smaller is better, and it allows you to get to know some people better too. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
As long as you get to make friends, I guess that's all that really matters.
Exactly.
You've been a standout on a soccer field, but you're getting a degree in a field that's something that many student athletes don't do. How did you decide on your major?
Well, I've always been decent. Well, not decent. I've been good with my physics and sciences and math and all that stuff. Those are the courses I tended to gravitate towards because it's not as much reading because, I think with a student athlete schedule, if you have a lot of reading, it's kind of hard to balance everything that you have to do. You have to come up from practice, you have to read a bunch of notes and stuff like that and a lot of memorization and things like that. But in my experience, I've seen that with physics, maths, and science and stuff like that. Once you understand it, there's rules for it. And once it makes sense and the logic, you understand the logic, then there's not going to be much change between what you're doing here and on the test and stuff like that. So it's easy to use your time more wisely and be more effective with the time that you have. And it just comes easier to me as well. And it's interesting, so.
So you love math and science?
I wouldn't say, I enjoy it. I don't wake up in the morning, I'm yeah, I get to do math today, but it's something that I can
Something that you could do for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Because there's many things you can do. So it's not just going to narrow you to one thing. There's math's everywhere. So
Is there any like one specific thing that interests you about your major?
I mean, right now I'm doing computer programming, and like that's like, so it's math and computer science. So computer science on that side is very interesting because everything's interconnected on the internet and networks now. So there's so much you can do with knowledge about networks and being able to make applications and programs and software and stuff like that because as we're going to go forward, computers are going to be more integrated into everything that we do, and that's just how it's been going for the last 20 years. So there's always there's so many things you can do with that. So it's interesting. There's always the hope that you can strike gold, make an app, and be rich. So that's always there.
Make an app
and be rich.
Be Facebookers.
Exactly. So
tweeters. How difficult is it playing your sport with the major that you have? That's pretty tough.
Sometimes it can be challenging, but it's not like over the general trend of my whole college experience. Like school hasn't been something that's been really stressful for me. It hasn't, like I said before, because if you understand it and get the logic behind everything, then it's always going to make sense. You're always going to follow those rules. So that's always been nice for me because I haven't had to like spend so much time studying and so much time doing work. So I've been able to have a nice balanced lifestyle with my sports, my school, and anything else that I'm trying to do as well. So
yeah, because sometimes it's hard to balance it all.
Yeah,
being a student athlete,
for sure,
definitely is. What are you going to do with your degree after your season?
I'm not sure. I know that once the season's over, like, school's over, so I don't know what's going to happen right afterwards. Like, you don't know the future, like, exactly what's going to happen, but ideally I'd like to pursue some soccer for the next the season of my life, because you can do that when you're young, but once you're older, you're not going to have that opportunity because, the body starts to go.
Our body breaks down.
Exactly. So my thought process is that I can always go back, and if I want to specialize my degree and go back to grad school and do something with that, I'll be fine because I've had the grades that will allow me to get into grad school.
Mm-hmm.
So there's always that possibility. But for now, I'm going to try to do that, and if that doesn't work out, I can always go back to school. Just go on an adventure, explore, and see what's out there. Knowing that I have a good degree to fall back on if I need to get a job or if I need to go back to school as well. So
like we said before, there's so many different things that you can do with your degree.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
I mean, something is bound to fall there.
Exactly.
So that's good though. Well, you did just say that you want to try and pursue your soccer career after this season. So do you know where or with who?
Not yet. I'm still trying to figure the logistics of it out, depending on how our season goes. I know there's a lot of it depends on how the season goes and, some of the connections and stuff you have. So we'll see how those things develop over the semester, because some things are still like in the early phases. So we'll see if they develop as the semester goes on and what they turn into come Christmas time. Because there'll be times, like, those are like between December and January, there's like a lot of different teams having tryouts and stuff like that. So if that's the avenue I'm going to go down on, then that'll be like more clear as I get to like October, November, stuff like that. But if it's like relationships you have with people or like people that then that can be something as well that's probably going to be found out by then, just depending on how you're doing and things like that.
So right when your season ends, you're still not done yet. Yeah. You got to go and try out.
It's going to keep on going and stuff like that. So fingers crossed, we'll see how it goes. But I'm excited and looking forward to it to see what the journey brings. So
that's good. What kind of advice would you give to somebody who wants to play a collegiate sport but is also trying to pursue a major this hard?
They always say this, it's always cliche, but the most important thing is managing your time, because you have classes, you have practice, you have other things you have to do, like if you have to go to weights, there's like a lot of stuff you have to do for being a student athlete. So if you're taking a major that's difficult, I think one of the most important things is paying attention in class, because that time that you're in class, like the lectures, is an opportunity for you to gain so much information without you having to do any extra time, because you have to be in class. So while you're in class, might as well learn while you're there. So if you spend that 50 minutes, an hour and 50 minutes that you're there, like actually taking the information and trying to learn what's going on, that definitely helps you, because then there's less time you have to spend outside trying to figure out what the professor was saying. If you understand what the professor was saying in class, like a lot of the information already comes to you. If you spend a little extra, and then doing your homework, that definitely helps, because just going through what the professor was saying, like being able to go through that stuff definitely helps. And then not wasting your time doing, like, you can't like have a hard major, be playing sports, and then go home and sit for like 8 hours and watch Netflix or something. You have to like manage your time well. So make sure you're taking care of the stuff you need to take care of. If you have homework, do it, and try and like plan your time out, and just stay relaxed about the whole thing, as well. And that I'm not gonna say this. Never mind. I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say.
No, you can say it. It's alright.
I was just gonna say, like, well, for me in my experience, I've just said like knowing which assignments are the most important and focusing your time on doing those. So if like homework counts 10% of my grade, and there's one homework assignment that I might not finish, I'm not going to stress about it, because that's going to count like 0.5 of my final grade. So I'm just like, it's whatever, don't stress about everything, worry about the stuff that matters. the 40% test, worry about that. Like, the other stuff is just like, it comes or it goes, but.
Oh, I agree completely.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this is Nathan Shanko, and this is A Closer Look, brought to you by Innovative Solutions, and I'm Sydney Murphy. Thanks. That was good. That was good.
That wasn't bad. That wasn't your first time.
Yeah. You're pretty good. So, like, where is it at on the map? I'm not a geographic
You're fine.
genius.
It's in Africa, so it's like East Africa. Do you know? I don't know if you know where anything else in East Africa is, but it's like, you know where the curve is, like the bump on the right side. There's like one country there, and it's just like inside of it. So
Okay.
one country inside.
One of my friends that I actually went to high school with, 2 of them were born there.
For real?
Mm-hmm. Their family moved there for a little while, and then they ended up coming back here. So,
Are they Americans?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think they moved there because the husband got like a good job offer, and then they were there for like 5 or 6 years, and then ended up moving back. So it's like they were only almost there for like 5 years for just like a visit, I guess you could say. But that's really cool.
Me too. I was only there for 5 years as well, but.
And then you moved to Florida.
No.
No, you moved to
Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwe. Where's
I didn't say
Zimbabwe?
that. That's like south. So if you know where South Africa is, like South Africa's at the bottom, it's just one country above it.
Okay.
And then from Zimbabwe to South Africa, then from South Africa over here.
Wow. Was it hard for you to transfer over? Well,
To America?
Mhm.
Or like all the changes?
was it different?
Yeah. I think the first one from Ethiopia to Zimbabwe, I was just so young, it just kind of happened. Then from Zimbabwe to South Africa was a little bit, it was okay. It was a little bit tough because, you know, like, I moved into a school where everyone else was older than me because they all started a year, like, later. So everyone was, like, a year older. So everyone's, like, knows things that I don't already know. So you're trying to get used to that, and then you're trying to get used to a new culture and a new school and a new country at the same time. So I didn't, you don't realize that at the time. You're just like, oh, I'm at school. But then, you look back on it, you're like, those kids were a little bit smarter than me. They knew a little bit more. So you had to, like, catch up. Over the years, like, it became comfortable because once you learn everyone and your surroundings and stuff like that, then it's cool.
Wow.
And then, then it felt like home. But then when I moved from there to here, I was like, why? It's like, it was about to be.
It's like every
right.
5 years for
Exactly.
you.
It was about to be senior year, so I was like, why am I, like, I want to be here. Like, I've had 5 years here, now it's about to be my final year. I'm about to do all the stuff that I've been looking forward to, but now everything's going to be switched up and I have to move somewhere else and pretty much, like, start all over again. So, it wasn't bad because I've already done it before, so at the time I didn't realize, like, all the stuff you had to get used to, but, America has its own different culture as well, so I had to get used to that.
Right.
But I feel comfortable with it now. As time goes by, you get used to it. But I'm grateful for it because you learn so much about different people and cultures while you're doing that, so.
That's good.
So it's been good. It's a good experience. It shapes your worldview and just how you see things and how you interact with people and stuff like
I
that.
bet
Yeah.
because I know there's a lot of different things everywhere else, and
Yeah.
people do and eat specifically
Yeah,
eat
food,
different
right?
things.
Yeah.
Food was a lot
Food is
different.
interesting. Yeah, it's American diet. It's like, I wouldn't say it's completely different because South Africa was colonized by England, so they have, like, some similar things as well. But every country has its own, like, traditional and national foods that they, like, have and that they've always enjoyed. So, you miss some of the stuff that they have there and some stuff from Ethiopia as well. Like, there's different foods and you don't get to enjoy it as much, but it's also interesting to just taste different people's diets. And, so it's cool.
Yeah, like what do we have? McDonald's.
Yeah.
That's.
They have it in South Africa too, but it's like got a completely different
Different,
connotation
yeah.
around it. Yeah. Like, it's a positive thing. Like, here it's just like, no, McDonald's, ew. But there it's like, it's in the mall. If you take your girlfriend to McDonald's, that's a quality date right there. Not saying they don't have fancy places. It's just like, you don't see McDonald's, like, all over the place. So when you find one, you're like, oh, snap.
There's like one on every
McDonald's.
exit in
Here,
America.
Yeah, here there's one everywhere. But it's like, if you find one, you're like, oh, snap. We struck gold. McDonald's. Let's go get something. So
It's pretty good.
it's different.